Garden, John Starks. Watch him take this headbutt, from Jeff Malone.
But instead goes down with a busted schnozola.
He goes to the locker room for treatment. Meanwhile, Charles Smith and Charles Oakley underneath for New York. And then Stockton against Greg Anthony in the lane, gets the basket and the foul. Stockton with a quick 10. But things are going the Knicks' way. Watch this horrible pass. Caroms into the hands of Charles Smith. Meanwhile, Starks comes out of the locker room with a broken
back. He comes in the second quarter. Here he is, making the rainbow connection. 41-26 Knicks. Back the other end. The ball off the boards, gets loose down low. Picked up by the Knicks. Doc Rivers with the ball. Ahead to Starksy. From three, down to well it will go. 50-34 Knicks. A little bit later, Starks will go into Ewing. The Jazz doubles up on Patrick, so back out to Starks. Again from three, it's a bullseye. Starks hitting on 6 of 6 in the second quarter. He would...
Tony Campbell, look at him leave David Benoit in the dust. The lefty layup on three-pointers from everywhere. Knicks shot 70% in the half, led 70-46 at the break. Then they go on 11-2 run. Doc Rivers whips a long lead pass to Anthony Mason.
Had 28, a little showtime move here for New York off the bench. And then Patrick Ewing nailing the turnaround jumper. Ewing with 28 points and 15 rebounds. And the Knicks win again at home. Starks finishing with 22 and said actually that the mask helped him focus on the rim and shoot the ball much better. The Knicks shot a season-best 63 points.
Well, John Starks is the kind of basketball player that always tests the coach's patience. He's the guy that sometimes takes the bad shot. He's the guy that mouths off to an opponent. He's the guy who drives you nuts but can win a game for you with a drive. And if you're Pat Riley of the Knicks, he's the guy you live with because you may not be able to live without him.
It's like having a stick of dynamite and you're just trying to get him to light the match.
He's explosive, he's a high-energy guy, and he's skilled.
He's been shooting the ball well, playing good defense, going to the hole, and, you know, like I say, he's underrated.
Whenever a guy come in and produce like I do, and, you know, the league had to take, you know, notice.
You know, this is my 10th year in the league, and I told my wife before he took off on this run that he's doing now, I said, man, I haven't seen too many people with the talent, the raw athletic ability that John Starks has.
Yet talent alone doesn't cut it under Pat Riley. He sent that message to Starks when he benched him for 2 games in November, and everybody knew about it. But in January, after a game against Orlando, nobody knew about the talk the two had when Starks walked away, knowing what he had to work on.
Stop having that, you know, what Coach called flip attitude, you know, just coming in and freelancing and being solid. You know, that's how he want me to play. And ever since then, you know, I've been understanding exactly what he wants from me, and it helped my game 100%.
He has a lot of talent. There's another level in the game that he can get to. He has the ability to score in bunches. He's just trying to become more of a consistent player where he can make plays and create plays for his teammates as well himself.
Only recently have consistent and Starks been used in the same sentence. More often, he's described with 3 other words.
Erratic. Are you erratic? At times I can be. And, you know, I think over the course of the past 6 weeks, I think I have controlled myself.
Confident.
I'm very confident. You have to be confident in this league.
Fearless.
Yeah, I'm fearless.
I think that's a good trait, and at the same time, it has to be controlled.
When Riley's not making that point to Starks, then it's 2 of the most stable veterans in the game, Rolando Blackman and Doc Rivers.
Roll a type of player that can get very, you know, hyper, but he learned to control himself within, and that's what I'm trying to get to.
John and I ride to games, every game. We ride into the city together, and we talk. We talk about basketball. We talk about all kinds of things, but basketball is the major thing, and I think just the talks help.
Not on the court, not the trash talk. Once a Starks trademark, that too is under control because Pat Riley is seldom out of earshot.
I see him in back of my head sometimes, you know, when I'm running down court and a player say something to me and I'm like looking out the corner of my eye and like, I can't say nothing. I better keep my mouth shut.
Have you ever satisfied Pat Riley?
You can't never satisfy Pat Riley. He's a perfectionist. You're always lacking in some area in his eyes.
That doesn't bother Starks, not once, not publicly nor privately, he says. Has he ever cursed his coach? Because he says, His coach is always right. With the Knicks, Steve Cyphers, ESPN.
All right, Steve, thanks. John.
For me, it's another game. But, you know, for the people, it's Patrick Ewing, a great center, and Shaquille O'Neal, an upcoming great center. People want to see a good game.
New York, New York. I'm in New York.
I wear Ray-Bans because they're the best.
Shaquille, can I have an autograph, please? Remember us, man.
Just you in the garbage, man.
This is how a 20-year-old, $40 million man comes to work with a bass rumbling as he...
Back hard to the hoop. Colbert with the first basket in this ball game tonight. Dennis Scott, by the way, came back off the injured list, started one game, re-injured his Achilles, is not with the team tonight. Patrick Ewing makes it 2-2.
Well, I think obviously a very good defensive team also, so you'll see the Magic struggle if they're forced to play half court here.
Magic struggling with their shooting percentages. Starks on the break. Ewing! Patrick with 4 points to Starks on the kick out to Ewing. Patrick Ewing making a statement early. He's 3 out of 4 with 6 points. So far tied at 6. 7:35 to go first quarter. Ewing missing this time. Charles Smith with the offensive board. Back to Patrick. Ewing has 8. All 8 of the Knicks points. He's 4 for 7. The other Knicks are 0 for 3. Anderson 4-3. Loose ball foul. Shaquille O'Neal picks up his first for New York. Has been playing better of late, but missed that time. Nick Anderson into the paint, his first hoop of the night. Charles Smith comes down and hits it from the perimeter this time.
That's the shot they want Charles Smith shooting more. He's always played with his back to the basket. They're trying to get him to face up more and take that 15 to 18-foot jump shot.
Smith, Oakley, and Ewing up front for New York. Here's Scott. Finds Tolbert to Nick Anderson. He was about 25 feet away for that triple, and Anderson now with 5.
Well, and the real key to that shot, now the Knick defense has to step out just a little bit. That might open it up some for Shaquille.
There's the quickness, but then O'Neal got a piece of that. Smith quickly around
Shaquille to get him a shot at the basket.
There's the double on Ewing. He gets it to Charles Smith's fadeaway jumper. Ewing almost jammed it back. Oakley behind the back. Patrick Ewing.
And it all got started with the second shot opportunity, and that has been a problem for the Magic. And of course, you give Oakley and Ewing opportunity after opportunity, they're going to knock down a high percentage of those.
Isolation, Shaquille. Look at the strength, 303 pounds, doesn't get the bounce. Oakley with the rebound. He has 5 early. Knicks by 1. Offensive foul on Patrick Ewing. Lowered that shoulder. That's his first. O'Neal also with 1.
Well, I think Patrick is going to argue this call because he's going to say Shaquille didn't have...
Finally an adult. Shaquille with the spin move in the lane.
Now, you see right there when Shaquille catches the ball in the paint and they take away the opportunity for the double team with the quick move to the basket, he's virtually unstoppable.
Magic by 1. Oakley buries the uncontested jump shot. For Oakley, more of a toe raise.
Right. He doesn't get up very high, but when you're trying to cut off the inside game, you have to give up something, and the Magic will give him that shot the entire game, I think.
Nice pass. Shaquille O'Neal into Tom Tolbert, who has 4 points. Ewing has 3 rebounds. O'Neal 6 points. Anderson 5. Ewing has 10 early. Make it 12.
He has taken that outside shot, and I think Shaquille is going to stay back off of him and allow him to shoot that one. And Patrick will not hesitate to put that shot up anymore.
It's a part of the game that Shaquille O'Neal needs to add to his arsenal. Anderson misses the three this time. Tolbert, another offensive board. Skiles gets the bounce, and he'll go to the line. Not a good matchup situation for Orlando at the moment. Oakley.
Well, you have to give up something. The Magic trying to go with quickness against the bigger Knick team. They feel like Nick Anderson can guard Oakley just simply because Oakley not a real big threat offensively, but he will give you the offensive rebound.
Tied at 18. Oakley with 7 rebounds, 2 offensive. Anderson short-arming. Three-point attempts.
There's Smith down low. They will go to him early.
Anthony, nice move to kick it to Patrick, who has 14 points. Shaquille doesn't get out on him. Shaquille was down on the baseline. Into Ewing. Knicks with excellent ball movement.
Talk about a guy that has upped his game as Pat Riley has given him more playing time.
Tony Campbell.
Tony Campbell, of course, playing much better the last 10 games or so.
Mason also in there for the Knicks. Traveling is the call. Patrick Ewing. What a quarter he's had. 16 points for Ewing. Knicks 26-22.
Watch against Shaquille. Or will he continue to step outside and get the jump shot?
Doc Rivers.
He's on the low post.
Against Kite. 18 points for Ewing. Williams, 3 for 3.
Now that's why they love him. See, if he can give him that right there, he's going to be very valuable to this team down the stretch.
Tied at 28. Mason gets the double team. Tony Campbell, tough shot, had to create something in the lane. The Terminator and Gregory Hines. A lot of celebrities here. Dustin Hoffman in the crowd tonight. Danny Aiello. That's Ronnie Lott.
Well, I'll tell you what, I feel pretty good here. I got to shake hands once again with Spike Lee, who is sitting courtside. A very, very nice guy to talk to. And I'm feeling even better because I got to see Willow Bay from across the court. I didn't even get to talk to her, but I still feel like I did because I'm right this close to her. Shaquille O'Neal checking back into the game.
Ronnie Lott, by the way, if you noticed him looking prosperous, there's a reason he signed with the New York Jets today. John McEnroe is a regular. Mason with the rebound. Over the double team, Anthony Mason with a tough offensive board and putback. His first basket of the night, and the starting guards for the Knicks, to go back to your point, have yet to score in this game.
Yeah, and also on that play, a good look at the importance of rebounding for the Magic. As I just mentioned, when they keep the Knicks off the offensive boards, they're much more effective.
Donald Royal powering it inside, lost the handle. Knicks can pull to within 2 or better with 4 minutes to go in the half. Patrick Ewing, and they're going to count the shot and give the foul to Shaquille O'Neal. 20 points for Ewing, and that'll be 3 on O'Neal, who also got a piece of the ball.
Now you'll see Patrick right here. The thing that Patrick wanted to make sure is that he got some of Shaquille's body. You see the lean in right there, and not a whole lot of contact on that one as Shaquille got the ball, but still he brought that arm down, and he's going to get nailed with the foul every time he does that.
And he's going to have to sit down with 3:53 to go in the half. Magic leading it by 2. Patrick Ewing, 10 of 17 tonight. Scored the first 8 points for the Knicks. 21 points for Patrick Ewing. Nick Anderson's fade away.
Oh, big shot there. Yeah, big shot there, and of course his quickness against Mason gives him opportunities to put the ball on the floor.
He got a hand on that Starks to Mason pass. Mason, strength inside. Kite. He's got 23.
You have your 7-footer getting down on the floor like that for the loose balls. You have to like it.
The inbound pass. Looking for Ewing against Kite. There's the double team. What a nice pass by Patrick to Charles Oakley. Ewing with a very quick pass inside to Charles Oakley. And Donald Royal. Powers inside. Ewing takes the ball out of the air. Starks hits the triple. The first 3 points of the game for John Starks.
You know you can't keep this guy down all the time. He's 1 for 5 now after making that 3-point shot.
Knicks were down by 6. Now they lead in the game. No look pass inside to Kite, who missed the left-handed hook.
Well, that tells you a little bit there. Somehow the Magic might not give him the ball as much as he would like to have it.
Knicks by 2. Shaquille on the bench with 3 fouls and 8 points, none in the second quarter. Seven seconds to shoot. Anderson against Charles Smith. The 6'10 Smith.
And that's kind of like a nice move by Nick Anderson. That did everything but fall down, but that gives you an idea of Charles Smith's quickness also. And the long arms.
Tied at 47. Starks. Offensive foul on John Starks. That'll be his second. See if he's all right. There's Skiles to Brian Williams again. Not this time Ewing with the rebound. He has 5 rebounds to go with his 23 points. Anthony kicks it to Starks for 3. Knicks 50-47. Speaking of John Starks, Kenny Anderson lost for the season, it was learned today, to the New Jersey Nets. That's not going to make them love Starks anymore across the river.
Not at all, and I think they're going to have to put a pin in the hand of, in the wrist, and Nick Anderson comes back with an opportunity for
3. Go from having home court advantage to being out of the playoffs, and that's what Daly's afraid of. Will Robinson playing pretty well the last couple of games, as you mentioned, but Anderson was really coming into his own. Charles Oakley has been a man on the boards. He has 3 offensive boards, 9 total, and 8 points.
And now Charles Smith has been ejected. He has been nailed with 2 quick technicals. And Jake O'Donnell says, look, guys, I don't have to put up with that.
That was quick. Riley out at half court.
I don't know for sure what he said, but it was something Jake just didn't want to hear. And boy, that's a big loss now for New York. That is a huge loss because of the matchup problems that Charles Smith causes the Magic when he is on the offensive end of the floor.
2 very quick technicals. Charles Smith's out of there with 4 points, 2 rebounds. He may be a little bit frustrated because they were expecting in this matchup battle with the Magic tonight as he leaves the court here at Madison Square Garden.
He palms the ball. He grips it almost, with one hand he palms it.
That's 3 threes for Starks. All 9 of his points have come from downtown. And the Knicks regain the lead. 11:14 to go in the third quarter. Bob Neal, Bruce Gibbons with you from Madison Square Garden. One of the marquee matchups in the NBA this regular season. The Magic and the Knicks. Patrick and Shaquille. Starks with the steal, and he goes in with the celebrities. I think he introduced himself to Gregory Hines.
Defensively, and of course they're trying to get that 4th personal on Shaquille, so they'll keep pushing it down low.
Starks hard to the hoop. Shaquille turned his back for a moment, left the middle unguarded, and Starks beat his man off the dribble, and he has 11. That's his first 2. The rest of his points have come from 3-point land. Seconds to shoot. Now 3. Skiles misses the runner. Ewing, 9 rebounds. Starks. 4 3-pointers for the masked bomber.
It It's interesting in looking at Starks because before that Utah Jazz game, he had been struggling. 1 of 19 in the previous 5 games from back there.
Jump ball. We hear things around the garden here. Who is that masked man? He's been giving up silver bullets.
Yeah, they've been, the sales have gone up on that mask around the New York City area. Kids wanting to imitate this guy, and well, the way he came back in that game against the Jazz, of course.
Anderson kicks it out to Anthony Bowie.
Nice drive to the painted area. Good spot up that time by Anthony Bowie.
4 points for Bowie. By the way, 3 team fouls against the Knicks, none on the Magic in this third quarter.
Well, and Patrick Ewing had a shot in this period. For some reason, they've gone away from him.
Oakley into the paint. Charles has not missed tonight. He's 5 out of 5 for 10 points, and it's a 4-point Knicks lead. And I agree with you, they are not looking for Ewing early, and with Shaquille with 3 fouls, it's unusual. They're going to Shaquille for sure. Over the double team. That's at least 3. Isolate Anthony off the baseline screen. Starks. That's a 2. John Starks heating up. He has 16 points. Starks had none in the first quarter.
They're looking for him, and now that the Knicks are running the screens for him along the baseline, it's becoming more and more difficult for the Magic guards to match up with him.
Anthony Bowie. Nice move inside around Patrick Ewing. Stark started this game 0 for 4 and has been 6 for 9 since then with 3 threes. Now to Ewing. Ewing was pushed by Shaquille O'Neal. No foul call. Patrick has 25, his first of this half.
I like the way Patrick just steps out away from the basket. When he's not able to get it down in the low hole, he just pulls out and takes the jump shot.
O'Neal on the pick and roll. Ewing came out with him, and Shaquille will get that one to drop. 13 points for the 21-year-old from LSU. Starks gets it to Patrick on the baseline. That's where he had a lot of his first half points. 27 for Ewing.
They've gone to running the double team, the pick and roll with Patrick Ewing. The Magic not dealing with it very well right now. That's giving Ewing opportunity after opportunity to just drop back in the corner for the shot.
Ewing's high for the year. That steal went out of bounds in the post to Ewing. Hammered by O'Neal. That's number 4.
Well, that's the first time that Patrick has been able to catch the ball in the paint in this third period against Shaquille. And you see Shaquille just kind of hesitated just enough to get Patrick to step to the middle.
This reminds me a little of the Valentine's Day game. Shaquille wasn't playing all that great in that. Patrick fouled out, and then Shaquille was the man in the overtime periods. Ewing with 29. Make it 30.
Well, I see a whole new approach to this game by Patrick Ewing than the first 2 games these 2 teams met.
Ewing is just a man on fire. Almost blocked that. Certainly caused the miss. Anthony fouled as he tries to come out of the pack.
But he has led this team so far in this game, and that guy right there is killing it. He is killing it.
18 points now for Starks. And he scored that in the last 9.5 minutes. Timeout. 3:53 to go in the third quarter. The Knicks have built a 5-point lead. They trailed by 1 at the beginning of this quarter. Donald Royal, hard to the hoop. Ewing now has 12 rebounds. Starks draws the foul. Anthony Mason in his face. Shaquille's had trouble on the block against Patrick tonight. But Donald Royal gets the miss and puts it back up and in, and the Knicks lead it by 5. Shaquille with 13 points. He's missed 4 shots, hit only 2 from the floor this period. That stops a 7-0 Knicks run. Campbell doesn't get it to fall. Now 5. Royal pounds it inside. Offensive foul. Knicks by 6, 2:39 to go in the quarter. Matty Lucas, the only remaining recent expansion team coach.
And given a 3-year extension after last season, so he will be around the while.
Escampi felt a lot more pressure since Shaquille is there. He says, in Orlando, we had pressure from the day I got here. That's on Patrick Ewing, offensive foul.
I think you have to give both of these guys a lot of credit.
Terrific on this possession. But Anderson scores anyway. That's your great player.
I think you're right, but I think the half-court defense that time for the Knicks, once again, very, very good. And Shaquille with the block.
4-point Knicks lead. Williams got his own offensive board. It's cut the lead to 2 with a minute 45 to go in the quarter. 10 points for Brian Williams off the bench.
As I mentioned, if the Magic make it to the playoffs and they're going to make a run, it has to be on the back to some extent of Brian Williams.
Starks to Campbell. And the Knicks' playoff chances in terms of going as far as they want to go will depend on their bench play of guys like Mason and Tony Kidd.
And you have to include Doc Rivers in that number also, because Doc has played very well the last couple of games. And, of course, his experience invaluable.
He'll be back in a moment. Pass from O'Neal. Wasn't handled well by Royal. 3 on the shot clock. Skiles knows it. He beat the clock, but here comes Starks. He traveled. Magic ball, Doc Rivers. Speaking of the devil, comes back in the game. No offense intended, Doc. In the quarter, Shaquille. Bad pass. Skiles saved it. Nice inside pass to Williams. Look at that jam, and he'll go to the line. No!
Man.
And Starks lost the mask. Anybody who's had a broken nose knows how painful that can be. Magic by 1. Oakley regains the lead for New York, and Charles has 12. Nice pass from Herb Williams inside.
Herb Williams right now in his career, his scoring is down a whole lot. He's not going to give you a lot of points. Defensively, though, he can do some good stuff. And you saw right there he's capable of making the good pass.
Knicks by 3, 9:51 remaining in this game. Shaquille, good pass to Royal. To Herb Williams. Oakley missed the offensive putback. There's Doc Rivers. Big play by Glenn Doc Rivers.
Well, the offensive board work for the Knicks pays off yet again in this game, and it gives the Knicks a 1-point lead.
As we were saying, Matty Gukas said, I don't know how we can stop that, but that's one key to our winning. Skiles trouble with Oakley. 8 to shoot. Shaquille powering it inside on Herb Williams now.
Yeah, they would like to get Shaquille opportunities in the paint. Patrick Ewing won't sit there very long.
Shaquille now against Patrick Ewing. They isolate. Ewing blocked it. O'Neal back hard to the hoop. Brian Williams knocking it around out of bounds. Orlando ball.
Mahorn has played, obviously, very physical basketball against the best of them in the NBA. And he said he's never played against anyone as strong as Shaquille O'Neal. Foul number 5. The thing is right now the Magic are coming very aggressively with double teams on Patrick Ewing every time he catches the ball.
Starks with the Ewing pick. Starks has 22. 16 points for Starks in the second half. Knicks by 1. Anderson off the baseline curl. Williams with a tip.
And 2 Magic players raise their hand.
They're going to give it to Royal. I look like Williams to me. Let's give it to Williams. Huh?
Well, why don't we?
Starks to Ewing, waiting all along the baseline, but he's been missing that in this half. He was just deadly from there in the first half. Mason. And that'll be 5 on O'Neal as he steps into the face of Charles Oakley.
Shaquille O'Neal made sure that time that the basket was not going.
He's not going to get the ball. Anderson just kept it and kept it and kept it and kept it. And missed it.
Yeah, that was a tough play right there. Skiles wide open, waiting for the pass from Nick Anderson outside, and he took a much tougher shot.
Starks off another Patrick Ewing pick, and Starks has 24. The 1-2 punch of John Starks and Patrick Ewing have combined for 54 points in this game tonight, and the Knicks lead it by 3. Oakley commits the foul as he combines with Doc Rivers on the double team. Next time either commits one, they'll be going to the line. Inside from Skiles to Williams, can't handle it. That was effective when Williams came off the bench earlier.
They've sold out every game except 2.
Bullet pass inside from Starks to Mason.
What a strong body. I mean, his upper body comes up limping there, but his upper body just makes it impossible for you to get to the ball when he puts that arm out there and wants to go to the hole.
Holding his left knee, got a timeout.
The other thing, you see where Patrick is forcing Shaquille to catch the ball. Now, that's the aggressive move that you saw early, and he wanted to foul that.
Shaquille. Some nice faking and then a tough bank shot. 21 points for Shaquille, playing with 5 personal fouls, Knicks by 1.
Well, as I say, Shaquille still very much able to carry this team. He has 5 personals, but he's not going to back off.
Starks traveled, Magic trailed by 1, and they have possession of the ball with 1:37 to go. Both teams in the penalty.
One thing we haven't seen out of New York when Shaquille has caught the ball the last 2 or 3 times is the aggressive double teams that we saw early in the game. They're giving Patrick Ewing an opportunity to work one-on-one. I think they will come a little bit more aggressively if the Magic go to the hole this time.
Scott Skiles looking for him. Foul on Patrick Ewing. You could hear his verbal displeasure. That's 4 on Patrick, but only 1:23 to go in the ballgame.
Well, we might see Patrick take a handful of jersey. Yeah, there it is right there, trying to address Shaquille O'Neal on the low post.
And Shaquille gets the bounce. Remember, he's less than a 60% free throw shooter. Now 22 points, 6 of 7 at the line tonight.
But watch his hand placement on the ball as he shoots it. Look how big his hands are. I mean, he almost encircles the basketball. Also, his form is not real good as he sticks his shooting arm out instead of directly under the basket.
He gets them both. He's 7 out of 8 tonight. He scored 6 points, the only 6 scored since he re-entered the game at the 4-minute mark. Now 1:17 to go. The Magic have reclaimed the lead. Ewing's jump hook. First 2 points of the 4th quarter for Ewing, 32 on the night.
And that's about the best we've seen him explode towards the basket in this period. And he got the ball way up high in the air and got it to go.
Nobody's left the Garden of this game tonight. Donald Royal, 7 to 6, shoot, 5 to shoot. Skiles down to Shaquille, into the paint. And the offensive board to Orlando. Under a minute to play in the game. The Magic down by 1. Matty Gukas gets time. Anderson, yes, they give it up. They isolated against Mason. 5 to shoot. Anderson in the paint. Gets the roll.
Tough shot by Nick Anderson. And one thing that he does maybe is dribble a little too much, but when he continues to make the plays like that down the stretch, he has to have the ball.
Everybody in the house knew that he was offensive foul on the Knicks.
And that
the Magic leads it by 1 with 15.4 seconds remaining in this game.
And that's number 6 on Shaquille.
Magic foul. Shaquille O'Neal is going to be out of here, but
now you'll see Doc Rivers try to set the screen, and there's Shaquille, just clears Doc Rivers out. Now Shaquille doesn't like to call, and you have a guy here who normally does not complain all that much.
So Shaquille O'Neal sits down with 6 fouls, 23 points in this game, but his Magic lead it by 1.
Give Doc Rivers a lot of credit. He went over and he seeked Shaquille out, sought him out for the foul, and for the screen, made sure that he got some contact there and drew the foul.
One of the reasons that Pat Riley leads Doc Rivers in the game. He can give the Knicks the lead with 15.4 seconds remaining. Rivers has 7 points off the bench. Big miss. Tied at 97. The last. And the Magic have to use another timeout into Brian Williams. looking for Anderson. Mason has been all over. See the time remaining. 5 seconds, tied at 97. Stripped away by Charles Oakley. We've got overtime. Hold on a second. Just hold it a moment. Tommy Nunez runs to the scorer's table. Manny Gukas comes down. He wanted a foul.
Well, I don't know if Charles Oakley was alert enough to call a timeout. Matt Gukas wanted to make sure they did.
There's the lob. Nobody could get it. Save for Brian Williams. And we have 5 minutes of overtime coming your way from Madison Square Garden. And this is just the opposite of what happened on Valentine's Day. Ewing had fouled out, and Shaquille was in the game. It's the reverse here tonight.
Well,
Ewing, defense by Kite. Not going to stop that shot. Just backed in easily against the smaller Greg Kite. And it's Knicks by 1.
And the double team did not come that time, so Patrick Ewing took it right to the middle.
There's the double team out high. Holbert with the perimeter shot. Drains it. Three-pointer. Tough bucket. He got Doc Rivers airborne and then hit about the 10-footer. And it's a three-point Magic lead. Skiles with 17.
Pat Ewing came over, forced the shot to go just a little bit higher.
Oakley alone for the jumper. Charles Oakley has missed only 1 shot from the floor tonight. He has 18.
Well, he has been big in this game. 7 of 8 from the field.
15 rebounds for New York. There's that pick and roll out high as the Knicks double team it. Tolbert spinning into the lane. Tough shot by Tom Tolbert.
Oh, man. He wanted to foul as Patrick Ewing stood his ground.
Tolbert with 2 big buckets here in overtime. 2:38 remaining.
Kind of an unlikely
Magic lead.
Kind of an unlikely guy for the Magic to go to right now offensively.
Here's a likely guy. Anderson almost raked it out of there. Loose ball foul is on Charles Oakley. That's his 3rd. Magic ball, and they lead it by 3 with 2:28 to go in overtime.
Oakley has been caught kind of in a very indecisive position there because the double team, the Knicks had been doubling up on Scott Skiles. Now with Tolbert being effective, he's going to have to stay at home, and he does that time.
Knicks have an 8-game winning streak at the Garden on the line here tonight. There's that high double team. Skiles takes it inside again. Not this time. Rebound Oakley. Outlet to Starks without the mask. And he's fouled by Skiles.
On an ejection, you see Starks getting out on the break. Skiles with the foul. Wants to make sure he doesn't make the basket there.
I think Skiles got a little rake in on the sore nose. Did you see that?
Starks without the mask now. Actually, he's gone to a smaller version of the mask, I guess.
Skiles was going for it. That's like a boxer, you know, you open the cut.
Go right for it.
Keep going. 25 points. John Starks, in the first 22 minutes of this ballgame, did not score 1 single point. He's picked up those 25 since then. He has 4 three-pointers. Starks brings the Knicks to within 1 with 2:07 to go in overtime.
2 minutes.
Donald Royal gets it to Nick Anderson, their scoring machine. He struggled from the floor tonight. Anderson into the paint. Short arms it. Rivers rebound. Knicks on the break.
Let's see if the Knicks get Patrick Ewing involved right now.
They get him involved to set a screen. Now he rolls down to this baseline. Mason is the man left alone. Off the glass. Big bucket for the left-hander. Only 8 points for Mason, but he gives the Knicks the 1-point lead with 1:25 remaining.
Well, excellent use of the backboard that time.
Skiles faked Doc Rivers, got airborne and had to get rid of the ball, and now the Knicks lead it by 1 with the ball. Ewing powers inside. The foul is on Kite, and Ewing will go to the line. Knicks by 3.
And once again, the double team does not come. The Magic have had so much success in making sure they take the ball out of the hands of Patrick Ewing. Now, you don't see it right there. And tight with the body, allow Patrick to get to the middle.
Matty Gukas got up and went to Tom Tolbert and said, "You should have stepped in." And Tolbert said, "I know that. Now I know it." 4-point Knicks lead, 1:03 to go. Timeout. Orlando playing without Shaquille O'Neal, who fouled out in regulation. Gets them both. It's a 2-point Knicks lead with under a minute.
And I think the Knicks will continue to go right where they went on their last possession, and that is down to Patrick Ewing.
Williams playing Ewing. It's like sumo wrestling. Royal comes away with the ball. Magic down 2. Mason out on Nick Anderson. Anderson spinning into the lane, and he's fouled. Mason, that's his 5th.
Nick Anderson continues to work against Anthony Mason. He hasn't had a lot of success down the stretch, but give him credit, he keeps taking it upon himself to try to make something good happen for the Magic.
As good a scorer as Anderson is, he's only a 71% free throw shooter. 5 out of 6 on the night. He had been perfect until then. That was a huge miss, need I say. It's a 1-point Knicks lead with 22.8. Full court pressure from Orlando. Starks has to call. No! He took a travel before the timeout. Orlando ball with 19.8.
And I'll tell you exactly what happened. The double team was there for Starks that time, and instead of keeping the pressure on, one of the defenders backed off. He wanted to make the pass. He changed his pivot foot that time and was guilty of the travel.
The 2 free throws, and Ryan Williams in its center for Orlando. Down 1. Looking for Williams. Tolbert's going to take it in the hoop. Offensive foul called by Jake O'Donnell.
Well, a little surprised that Tolbert handled the ball. Not the best at putting the ball on the floor that far away. But he has had some success here in this period in one-on-one.
Ryan Williams, a frenzy in there. And a quick foul on Starks. Skiles wraps him up with 11.6. Starks gets rid of the mask and will step to the free throw line. 11.6 seconds. Only a second and a 10th.
Well, you needed to make the foul very quickly so that you have plenty of time to work with when you get the ball back. Starks is 4-4 from the free throw line here tonight. He also has 9 assists in this game, so in addition to scoring the points, he's been effective getting his teammates involved.
This is the front end. So the Magic will have an opportunity to at least tie here, and they'll call timeout. Now the Knicks by 2. The Magic with the ball with 11.6 to go in overtime. Donald Royal. Williams takes it inside. 1.1 second remaining, Orlando ball. Williams had the chance to tie, but that New York interior defense was right in his face.
Patrick Ewing leading the way there, and once again, the Magic without a timeout, so with 1.1 left, they don't get to draw up another point.
Nick Anderson isolated over on the weak side. Tolbert for 3! Knicks wins in overtime, and even the season series at 2 games apiece. Patrick Ewing is our Budweiser player of the game. He scored the first 8 points for the New York Knicks to make a statement against the rookie Shaquille O'Neal. Finishes with 37 points, 17 rebounds, and he is our Budweiser player of the game.
Others think of New York as skyscrapers. Who stands taller than Patrick Ewing? Well, Charles Oakley can spot him in a crowd with a jam. And then Ewing, the turnaround jumper over.
Worthy with the steal. Speeds all the